Hi guys, well, beautiful morning. I had a little malfunction yesterday with the camera. For some reason it wouldn't charge and took most of the day to try to get it to charge. Once it finally did start charging, it was late in the evening. But while I was dinking around with the camera now and then, I went ahead and dug the last water line from the one hydrant there on out here to by the garden shed here. Found some interesting stuff in the soil. Once I got down to the bottom here, let's look back down here again. If you can see it, that black stuff down there, that's volcanic sand. So it's really gritty. It's almost like iron oxide. Really coarse. But so I got it all dug here. I got the other one we did out by the cargo container. That's all backfilled. I smoothed out a lot of the trench work on the other side of the house there. So we're going to get on this. I'm going to bring all the supplies over here, and we're going to install this hydrant here. All right, so hang on a second and we'll get back to it. All right guys, got everything laid out here. I'm going to start putting stuff together and doing it. First I'm going to cut off the plug I had on the other line over there. So, recycle that later. And as someone made a comment about something that sounds like a good idea to me, I'm going to do it here. So I get these pieces out here. Two down there, two here. Okay. So this one here and here. He said that I should consider on these joints here putting some electrical tape over the copper crimp rings that are going to be buried in the ground. That way they're better protected. And so I got some electrical tape to try that. Kind of makes sense. Stupid little flies out here. Got that there. Got my electrical. What I had to do is I had to splice two pieces together here because they didn't have quite enough to make it to run out here. I was get out of here, yellow jacket. Just a little bit shy on it. So I put electrical tape over this. No sense having to dig this up in the middle of what's going to be the lawn here once you get all installed back. Okay, now, ooh, that's it. Knock the tripod around. Back here, a little bit safer distance here. Okay, so. Short piece here. Actually, going to do is I'm going to put a stub out on here like I did down there, so I can come back later and add on to it if I need to. That works a lot better. Okay. There. Now it came out a lot better than it did the last time I tried it. I never can tell when my wife is going to want another hose bib somewhere else. And I can see her wanting one back at that corner of the property out there where we're going to have the berries and stuff at. So. Make sure I'm going this the right way. That's going to go there. That's going to go. Okay, think. Brain working here. Almost made a mistake there. That there. If I hook this out this way, here. There we go. I got it figured out here. Always make sure you got it done right. So I cut, measure once, measure twice, cut once. So that takes care of that one. So to over here. One. Okay, so that's ready to go down in there. Let's move the camera over here and we're gonna do the install over here. Okay, now the camera malfunction turned off on me while I was down in the ditch. Actually, as soon as I started it, it turned off. But there we go. Got the T-lateral going off this way here. Got it all wrapped with electrical tape. And got the wires on here. Wrapped the electrical tape over the wires just for the heck of it. So, since the sand is so close down there to it, and I got a big pile of sand here that I dug out, I'm going to just push the sand in around this so I don't have to put any rock on it, because that sand will just drain right through that sand really easy. And so we'll be calling that good here, so I'll push that in. And I have to make a run to up the street here to Ace Hardware, get a couple more clamp rings to do the other end and hook it up to the line that's already installed. So I ran short by 2 clamps, which is exactly what I need to do it. All right, see you in a second. Okay, guys, I'm getting down here in the ditch. Oh. Yeah, my favorite place to be. Pull that back out of the way. Back the other way here, I guess. Yeah. There we go, out of my way. Okay. So, go ahead and this down here. Right. there. Okay. Cut. Get on there. Sometimes these things just don't work right. There we go. And once you get on, then they just slide all over the place. Alrighty. That one on there. This may be a little bit wet. Just a little. Alright, put that up there, that up there. There we go. Okay, so now just one more thing to do here. Slide this off a little bit. There we go. And then throw some electrical tape on it. It is. I was reading last night that the volcanic soil around here is a little acidic too, so that's why one of the neighbors told me I should be wrapping it in electrical tape because of the acidity. Okay, so we got that done. Now it's time to backfill. Okay, part two of part two. So I'm over here on the side of the house where I'm going to be running the electrical out to the new trailer hookup station. So I have the hydrant, I have the sewer pipe, which I still have to put the 90 on and the cap, and I have the electrical box. Well, I dug down here. When I got down to just below the foundation there, then I took this piece of inch and a quarter, inch and a half metal conduit, and I took the sledgehammer and I drove it through. I drove it in, like 6-8 inches, pulled it out, knocked the dirt out, drove it through. Did that, kept that until I got all the way through. It was only about like 2.5 feet I had to go before I hit that down in the basement there. I dug it out, and then I just stuck the 1-inch piece of conduit I had left over from running down to the cargo container. So put this over here, get back in the shade here. Wow, it's hot out there. So I have that there now. Now I just have to, I'm going to hook up the 90. I'll go over and show you in a second. I'm going to take the rigid metal 36-inch nipple and the 1-inch rigid sweep, connect those together, put the fitting for the think for the adapter from the rigid sweep to the PVC on it. Get those all tightened up, and then set it back in. Set it down there. Glue it to the pipe that I conduit already stuck under there. Once that's glued up, then I'm going to backfill it. Once it's all backfilled, compacted, then I'll put the box on. And once the box is on, then I'll run wire through it. That's the game plan. Let's see how it goes. All right. Okay, I moved inside here, out of the sun. The only decent thing I can say the previous owner, the old man, did was he put this monster vise here in the garage between the two garage doors. It's on some 3-inch angle iron here, all braced in, bolted in. Granted, I would have put it in the shop, but hey, this gives me room to work and it's nice and cool. So I got the 3-foot piece of the galvanized pipe here. Let's see if I can get fuzzies out of it. There we go. Yeah, the plastic blue cap they shipped it with has yeah, good. We do have sound on it. Yeah. This leaves pieces of plastic on the pipe because they just smack it on. And when you try to pull it off, it's already shredding. So, okay. Let's put this on here. This one here I'm putting on a little bit more than I normally do of the Teflon tape, because electrical couplings are straight through. There's no taper to the threads. The pipes, there's taper to the threads. So what it means, it goes on kind of loose and it tightens up after it gets on there a bit. You know, I mean, it's really loose compared to the water pipe. Once it's on there, it's kind of almost snug immediately. But see, it's wiggling. Still wiggling. Okay, I'm over halfway on, and I'm doing it by hand still. There, 3/4, and it's finally where I got to get the wrench. I want to make sure, specifically with this one here, that it is the Teflon with enough Teflon in there to make sure help seal the threads, because this is the one fitting the water's going to drip down in to try to get into the conduit. See, and it's still going around fairly easy, and I'm almost out of threads. There we go. Now the next one I do is going to be the sweep. So I'm going to go there. Quickly thread this on. In fact, it's all the way down into the thread, you know, interesting. I'd be biting into the pipe proper itself here. There we go. All right. All right, I'm going to have to run down to the basement, grab some more Teflon tape. I'm out. So hang on a second. Okay. Back with the yellow Teflon tape. Now, I don't know if you can tell, when I'm putting Teflon tape on, I feed it a specific way to make it work good. So the thread, if I'm screwing something on, looking down at it, it's turning clockwise, or righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I wrap the Teflon tape in the same direction, and as I work my way in, that way it won't loosen up. Basically, I run it the other way sometimes, since when I'm screwing on, it's going the opposite direction of the tape. sometimes loosen tape up and the tape just does all sorts of funky stuff, doesn't stay where it's supposed to be, and winds up balling up and jamming it before it's all the way tight, before it's properly tight, and therefore it's not all the way, and there's ways for leaks. Well, granted, yes, this is just electrical and it's not going to be under pressure, but still it's a habit to do for all things when you're putting Teflon tape on, whether it's gas, water, or electrical. Put them all on the same way. Do it right. Ooh, yeah. Yep, and it's starting to flex just a little bit, so I just put just a quarter turn with the wrench here. There we go. Nice and tight, perfect. All right, so let's break this thing loose. Here we go, ready to take it out there. So, this is going to get a little bit interesting here for a minute. So let me set you right there. Grab the sledgehammer and the glue. There's the hammer and some other stuff here. Okay, let's get this glued up here real quick. Now, problem is, it doesn't want to stay up. So, I also need to move it back in just a little bit. That's good. Put it so it's about right there. That's workable. So what I'm going to do is, I'm right on the edge of the water line ditch. Where I put the water line in here. That's how come I'm able to drive that in there without a hammer. No, I'm not Thor or the Hulk. So now I just need a piece of the wire here. This is just a temporary wire, so I'm not going to have to tie it really tight. All I just need to do is give it a couple twists by hand. There, that'll hold that up. And that looks, dang, I put a level on it, bet it's straight. Now all I need to do is just backfill. Once this is backfilled, and I'm going to tap it down with the backhoe a little bit. Once it's all down, I'm going to jet it also so that I don't, so it's not all powdery and dusty here. But also that way it packs around the pipe and it'll hold the pipe once I pull this bar out. So the bar looks kind of ugly. Even though this area here, once I'm all done, we'll get concrete poured over it, so it'll be concrete around this. In the meantime, I still want to get it so it holds up on its own. So let me move this back over here a little bit. Okay, so we got several things of dirt in there. I'm going to spread it out a little bit and then pack it a little bit with the sledgehammer to kind of use as a tamper around the pipe. And then I'm going to add some water to it. And we'll come back when I get it all backfilled, because you don't want to be bored. Just watch me go dirt, dirt. Alrighty, be back in a minute. Oh, there it is. The 30 amp trailer hookup for power is in place. All I got to do in the morning is run the wire to it. I just checked and I got enough wire to do it. But I need a breaker switch to go in the panel, so another trip to Home Depot.